Hello everyone, and this is SeReNiiTYzZ here, back with another awesome Fortnite Battle Royale gameplay today. And as you guys would have quickly seen there from the menu, I did acquire the TomatoHead skin, and very happy to have done so because I really love outrageous skins in this game, and he came out yesterday. And I couldn't resist, and also got some other nice surprises in this gameplay to look forward to, and it's a really nice solo gameplay in which I rack up a decent amount of kills. And got all of this stuff, got the Axeroni pickaxe, we've got the pizza box, we've got everything. And actually was thinking of going to Tomato Town as well, just to even spice things up. I decided to go to the sort of shipping area, sort of just beyond that. So but as you can see, TomatoHead making his glide down with a shooting star, but he really was a shooting star in this gameplay today, guys. TomatoHead or TomatoHead Dinities, well, we'll come up with something. But really good game today, really nice battles, and really cutting the tension with a knife. Like, honestly, it was on a knife edge at points, and you know, I did beat some good players towards the end, and yeah, there was some, there was some really difficult moments for me in this gameplay, and I think I did well to rummage through with it. And as you can see, definitely got busy here, got a couple of people coming, and at this point here, I wanted to shoot them in the sky, to be honest, before they were making the land, but unfortunately the angle was a bit awkward. But I get this no skin who really couldn't get away there, but I saw that there was another one, so I'm just being careful to see where he goes. And at this moment I can hear some sort of noise coming from in the facility, so I know he's around. But at this point here I just want to get some more weapons, because if he gets something juicy, he can easily polish me off at this point, and just better to get as much as you can at the beginning. And getting smalls here definitely increased my confidence, because it's pretty much guaranteed that I probably can kill him now. So at this point here, just getting the materials, because in case he he's got a decent weapon I'm going to probably need to build, so quickly getting those, which is a really nice bit of play. Really nice start to the game though, to actually have other people come in here. I actually really like this area for solos, because it's quite surrounded by a lot of other places, such as Risky Reels, Lonely Lodge and Wailing Wood, and as you can see, it's still competitive at this point here. Get shot in the back for one shot of my shield, so I was a bit annoyed at that, because I just got clipped for one shot. But one thing I thought at the time of this gameplay is the fact that, and this game happened yesterday, is for him to have hit that shot, he had to be up high with me. So at this point here, I was just looking up high for him. TomatoHead scans the area, looking for where his next pizza might be coming up. But at this point here, I know he's on the bridge, I can see him there, and just make my way towards him and get ready to fight. He realises I'm coming, so at this point here, instead of building another flag, I wanted to build a wall, because I knew he'd come behind his bit of cover. But at this point here, it's an easy kill for me, get above him, and he didn't have a shotgun, so it's a nice easy take, and finish off my competition that came with me there. And that's a really nice start to the game. And a small transition here as I get the burst rifle that he had, and also pick up some more materials. And then pretty much good, to continue on the road. But really nice start for TomatoHead on SeReNiiTYzZ. So I hope you guys enjoy this one. He had a really impressive debut in this gameplay. And at this point here, guys, just finishing off the pallets. Most of the stuff would have been done now. The loot is not the greatest here in this particular game. Usually it can be very good, but in this one it wasn't that fantastic. So at this point here, just sort of moving on from that. And there's always a chest, not always, but there's sometimes a chest in this truck as well, so I was going to check that out as well, but obviously can't hear anything. And there was actually none that spawned there either, so I was looking for additional things, because I knew the chest wasn't in there, but it's just because my weaponry is not the greatest right now, and obviously to stand a better chance in this game, I need better stuff than a white burst, white tactical, etc. So at this point here, I just figured to get materials, and I'm deciding to make my way over to Tomato Town now, because it's only been a little while to the start of this game. And to be honest with you, I was kind of hoping that someone might still be in Tomato Town. So that's the sort of thinking behind it. Once I start from that area, I tend to sort of explore around and look for where other people are coming from the other places that landed. Obviously, Risky Reels, if it's close on the bus, will always be popular as well. So people potentially have come from the north. And at this point here, I can see some things unlooted. Decide to grab this blue revolver because it's very, very good. You've done some nice action with a revolver recently as well, so that's another reason why I tend to take revolvers. But at this point here as well, getting some more material just so I make my way into Tomato, but I think I saw from overhead that it's possibly been looted, but luckily for me they left the pallets behind, which I think is really easy to get wood very quickly by using them, so I was quite happy that they left them behind. But as you can see, not really anything to see here, and the door has been opened, so it's pretty clear that probably Tomato's been fully scavenged. Another sign to check as well is that there's a chest in the house just ahead of me here in the sort of lower roof part. If the wall has been removed, they've definitely nabbed that chest, so unfortunately for me, I think that is the case, and it's unfortunate because obviously I want to get more loot, and I think at this point, as I was making my way into Tomato Town, I saw a crate was going to drop around here, and I think at this moment in the gameplay I was trying to get the height to see where it was going to drop, but actually completely at this point lose sight of it, and it's a shame for me at this point in the gameplay because apart from a decent amount of wood, a little bit of shield, and that's all I really have going for me, so I really have to try and find someone soon because I'm not going to win the Royale like this currently, and unfortunately still not finding anything really worth it at this point. Again, in a good place to the zone here to sort of find people. When I sort of made my transition from my starting area, there was like 30 to 40 people left, but somehow I've managed to not see a single one of them. Obviously the map's still big at this point, so they're going to be coming from places elsewhere, but it's just frustrating at this point because really looking for a fight, actually going to the extent of going in wide open area to try and find someone, and the reason I'm doing this as well is because I know that I can't really carry on like this, so I have to I have to fight, I have to try and find someone, otherwise the Royale is lost before we even begin. So at this point here, guys, desperately searching for a fight. TomatoHead craves blood, he craves that for his pizza, and he can't find anything here. So at this point here, guys, still just searching around, nothing to find, unfortunately. Nothing was left in Dusty, and I don't think there was even a chest spawn in this game, so loot wise it's pretty limited, and at this point here TomatoHead needs a miracle, to be honest, what with the zone coming in, for him to get more loot, but luckily there hopefully there will be the possibility that a gift from the gods might occur. But at this point here, guys, just making my way over to this sort of area to see what's going on over here, because sometimes you get people rushing out of the storm with Dusty, so I was kind of looking around this area thinking that there's possibility of to find someone. At this point here, see there's a crate coming overhead which is going to land in Dusty, and at this point here I start to hear some shots, see a bounce pad in there, but I feel that this is much more lucrative to come over here and try and find out what's going on over here, because it's obvious that someone's just coming from the storm and it sounds like they're in a fight with someone else. So see this as a real opportunity to get better stuff, and boy do I need it at this point. So make my way over and see a player here on the wooden ramp. Now he's actually looking into the storm, and I sort of realised that as I'm pushed down, and then see this guy come out of the storm. So there's two players here. Luckily for me, I got some nice shots onto this guy first, and it's an easy finish. He was thinking that I wouldn't see where he went, and that's an easy tap in with the tactical there to finish him off. And the guy that he was fighting from the storm is now coming in, so obviously he's quite an alert player, I could see that. So at this point I start to build to sort of block him off and make him panic. At this point he blocks himself in with a bit of brick, and again just getting the height over him so it's awkward for him to come out, and he's right next to the storm, and really came off nicely there. I was really pleased with that in the game because there was only sort of one option for him to build out there, and I think he got a bit confused with where I was and couldn't protect himself with a wall. So really nice play to get both of those guys. Obviously fairly alert players in the sense that one of them realised his competitor was coming out of the storm, and really nice play for me to capitalise on that because I needed their stuff, and was able to get some decent loot there, and just at this point just checking everything they both have, and take my time obviously because I had to change over a few things what I received there, and at this point here looting the other guy, and he has a green tactical, and wait for it, a scar, so we're saved. We don't have to have the white burst, so really lucky. Again, one of these situations in Fortnite solos where you go from a zero to a hero in very quick succession, but that was just the fight that I really needed, and I'm so happy that I was wandering around the realms of the map to discover those guys, because that was really one of my keys to victory. to find those guys was just fantastic, because before that I really had nothing, and you know, very happy to go forward and push forward with the rest of the Royale now, knowing that I've got some better stuff. And you know, TomatoHead making an impressive debut with 4 kills here, and you know, still a decent amount of players left. So at this point here, guys, just looking to make the way through the facility, because that took a bit of time to kill those guys. So I'm already on pace for the storm coming in. So at this point here, just grabbing a rock. And you know, it's pretty good stead for me, because the crate that I told you about from earlier is still here, and that's a good sign for me as well, because you know, the fact that it's been here, landed for a while, since I made a transition to kill those guys, it seems to me like there'd be no one around here, and that's at least what I thought at the time of this gameplay. So I was like, you know, it's brilliant. I'm also going to get a crate out of this as well. So at this moment, make steads to grab it, and just, you know, full pop it quickly, because honestly, feel pretty content I'm going to be safe around here. Prefer the purple scar over the gold burst at this point in the game. I think scars are more valuable. And at this point here, push away, looking to get into the zone. And as I do that, look at it. What, a rocket? Where is this guy? And couldn't believe that someone had a rocket right around me. It sounded very close, and I was right, because the person's right behind me. And this is my 5th kill, folks. And at this point here, go to loot, because I was hoping that this player would have, like, you know, some, you know, extra stuff for me, and I really needed material, so I thought this was worthwhile looting. Also, I know that they had a rocket, so I was like, I'm definitely getting this guy's loot. And there's a bit of a mistake here, actually. Should have grabbed those bandages. I know that I wanted to keep my purple bolt, but that actually cost me a bit of HP, to the point, you know, I'm like, you know, quite down by a bit, underneath 75. So that was actually a little mistake there. Should have taken those bandages, but I suppose, you know, I have my reasons. I wanted to hold on to the purple bolt, 'cause it's pretty good. And you know, but nice grab to get the rocket, so I was really pleased with that. I had to make quick decisions there on what to take, and decided that that was the best course of action. So, you know, nice to pick up the rockets, and nice awareness to know that that guy was very close to me based on game sound. I mean, it was so loud that I was like, okay, this person's more or less right next to me. He must have been hiding in that little shack. But at this point here, really nice saves, really good play to get out of the storm alive. And, you know, some better weapons, and that's going to hold me in really good stead for TomatoHead going forward in this gameplay, folks. But there's one thing that TomatoHead needs to keep his flourishing health, and, you know, keep himself a red and bright tomato, and not a rotten one. He needs some heals to keep the health of his flourishing growth alive. And at this point here, guys, I was checking the broken house potentially for some bandages that people will leave. And bandages fairly common, but always not common when you need them. So at this point here, guys, just gathering wood, and really just thinking about that health situation is the main priority at this moment in time. And just taking care to get into the zone, have a decent amount of time to get around there, but just have to make sure that I don't encounter any nasties along the way. So as I'm doing this, just checking my surroundings, prime area to try and get sniped here, so that's why I'm kind of jumping around, because I don't want that to happen. And at this point here, do have some smalls to fall back on, and at this moment here, can hear some fighting and see some twin towers, and pretty much say to myself, well, you know, really need this loot, to be honest. 50 odd health is not going to be enough, so I decide to attack, and really nice rocket onto this first tower to blow it up. And at this point here, the guy takes full damage, so I'm pretty keen to finish him off, but wasn't sure where the other guy was, he was fighting. And right here, tried to land a rocket on contact, which was a bit off target, and I think the other guy finished him off anyway. And this is the guy that I'm now fighting. It's a bit of an awkward one, because he's just on a hill here, and my build is a little bit awkward. And he's trying to get the height on me, because he's a smart player, but then drops to much my satisfaction. And at this point I'm gutted, because I did take some full damage, and he got some shots onto me, and I can't lose him because of the storm will just about finish me off if I try and loot. So I was really gutted with that, because I really wanted to grab that guy's loot, and I think he had some rockets for me as well that I wanted to grab. So I was a bit frustrated by that turn of events. At least I'm still alive, and, you know, added another kill to my kill count. But TomatoHead definitely needed some ripening. You know, he needed to ripen himself and get that health back, you know, so he can be a red flourishing tomato again. But at this point here, guys, just checking around again, looking for any bandages that might be here, but unfortunately there's none. And at this point here, just looking to move in with the zone and being careful. as I do this as well. And also I've got my fan club now. I've got one guy watching me. I think spectates me towards the end of Royale, believe it or not. I don't know where I keep getting these fan club boys from, like when sometimes when I win a Royale, but thanks, I appreciate the support. I feel it's that guy that I just killed coming in from the storm, but it's probably seeing if I can actually work my way out of this little box I've put myself in with such low HP. But here we go, some apples. Now, you know, an apple a day keeps the doctor away, so at this point here, TomatoHead Entities realises that and realises he can go back to his flourishing ways and not go like a rotten tomato, and he's just, you know, he has an apple a day to sort of, you know, perk him up a bit. And at this point here, gets a snipe out because he knows that there's a guy in the central island, and this one won't be in the zone, so he's going to have to move, which is something I thought about in this game. But honestly, really wanted to kill this guy because he's in an annoying position for me to move in, and definitely our paths are going to cross. So I was trying to get the snipe onto him here, and unfortunately, as I get somewhere near taking the shot, he just moves at the last second. So it's really unfortunate. And just being really careful here to not be too obvious where the snipe came from. As soon as I missed, I just, you know, hid behind cover so you couldn't see. And at this point you can see he's building up, so I'm just being careful and decide that I'm not going to wait all my time for him because I need to get into this zone, and I also need a bit more wood. So at this point here I see he sets up a bounce pad, which I thought was intended for me to come over. Thought he was still there, didn't realise he'd already taken the plunge, and you can see he's building into this building in front. So I'm well aware of that, and right here blocked myself off of a wall temporarily, so I just start again to get a bit closer to him. See him building up here on the side behind the building. Really nice way to shoot out that structure. I think he was aware of me being there, that's why he built walls behind himself. But this guy's not giving up the fight. As you can see, he's double ramping me at the moment. Do a nice play here to sort of block him off. I think he tries to get the height and messes it up. And at this point here, builds underneath me, so nice play from him. Really happy to get this guy in some low health. At this point I was really hungry for the kill and thought I could get it. I was really hoping I could take that shot, as he, you can see he equips a small, I think, there. So at this point I decided to do the same because I'm, you know, 25 health or so. I can't afford to take another shot really, so, you know, these smalls are like my last hope of survival, and you know, I really need to finish this guy off. The storm's now coming in, so I'm starting to panic. TomatoHead Entities are starting to panic, but, you know, at this point here, you can hear another player approaching, so I sort of back off for a second. Hear the guy come in. He's got rockets as well, no less, so managed to hit him for an, you know, 47 to his shields right there. He's right around the pillar. He might have used his last rocket, tries to finish me off with a machine gun. Eventually, a bit sloppy, but eventually we get there and find the golden gift, a med kit. As soon as I got that, I was like, okay, that's all I need. As I was taking a, you know, a bit of damage from the storm, that could have been, I just had to grab the med kit and go, and luckily for me there's a couple or so I'm really happy with that, and I've still got my smalls to top up my shield. So after that, just healed up, and still got some heals left behind, but yeah, just really, we came close to being taken out there, but TomatoHead Entity sorting out his health problem and flourishes as a you know, fresh red tomato once more. But yeah, definitely was exciting towards the end, guys, and those were probably the best players, I would say, of the game. The guys that I fight in this final now, as you can see, I had a lot of time to heal and nothing really happened as I came into the zone there, which is something I found a bit odd. But I would say that the guys that I've just beaten in fights were actually the stronger players. The players after this are not very smart, so I feel a bit of a shame for them, because the players that I meet in the final were nowhere near as good as they were. Both of these guys that I'm now fighting are not the smartest. At this point here, it's a bit risky what I'm doing, because, you know, if these players were smart, they could have sniped me on a couple of occasions here, but I really wanted to take down that old wood base because I thought someone could be hiding in that. And at this point here, as I start to shoot that structure, I see a player move into a bush. Now, you know that's an elite player when you see someone trying to hide in a bush, and at this point here, get some really nice shots across map. Check this bush to see if there's anyone in there, because, you know, it's unusual for the final zone and like no shots to be fired, and eventually suss out where the other guy is. He's right at the back, just on the edge of the storm to the hill, and I thought he was trying to go for the height here, so I look at that. But you can tell the other guy's an elite player as well, going for the bush strategy as he I got some nice shots onto his shield, and he has to build up. But at this moment here, just being careful to get into the zone, because obviously still need to make it into the zone. So Really being careful here as I'm doing this to make sure that I get in, and making sure I'm covered as well. And at this point, obviously, I don't want to do too much work for either player, because if I get involved with one of them, it doesn't matter whether they're good or not, they're going to have an easier time of trying to hit me. So at this point here, it's just being careful to not make that happen. So I'm on a decent set of kills, and definitely get a good chance of finishing off this Royale. So at this moment, just being careful. And this guy on my in front of me was not the bigger threat, but I actually thought he was, because of the fact that he might try to claim the hill over me. So I was a little bit worried about that, and I tried to spot him up there, but I can't see anything. And it's unusual to just build some ramps and then just camp there, but I thought maybe it's not a confident player. But obviously, whilst I'm distracted, the other player can try and make a move. So whilst I was shooting him, I was just checking the other one, because I'm really between both of them now, and they don't seem interested in each other. Just me, really, because that's the only player they've seen. But at this moment here, I know that I have to get in. I don't have a lot of time for the next few storm areas, so take this opportunity, because I think they're both not confident players based on the way that I've seen them playing. So I decided to build my little brick tower. As I'm doing that, I did hear the other one come over, so I'm just taking a lot of care to build this quickly, and not too high, because obviously I don't want to take full damage as well. At this point, that would be kind of fatal. But at this point, I feel fairly confident. This guy has to move in front of me. I still can't see him from coming in the storm, so I'm thinking, where the hell is this guy? And then I checked the hill, but can't see him there, and then eventually it comes up he was lost in the storm, so I guess he didn't want to participate in the final. But really unusual for someone like that to make it to this stage in the game and play like that. Might have been a new player, but honestly, just to lose himself in the storm like that, I mean, he's doing me a favour. But so at this point here, I know it's the other fella that was in the bush as the guy that I'm last against, and at this point here, just taking care. I know that he's underneath me, because I heard him come over when I built the thing. So at this point here, I just shoot out his structures. Seems like not a very confident player. Start to see an image of his character behind this little wood wall down below, and he tries to take some shots, but yeah, it's pretty easy for me to finish off. And wait for it, TomatoHead gives them both the red card, sending them off for the Royale win on his debut on SeReNiiTYzZ. So how about that, guys? A nice little red card. SeReNiiTYzZ said that he would give the red card like to Pure Clumsy from the Blockbuster win, but actually got it in the flesh now. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this gameplay. It was a really nice win for TomatoHead to start his debut here on SeReNiiTYzZ. Really pleased with it. The final, guys, obviously I'm happy the opposition was weak, because it made it easier for me, but yeah, really good Royale. Really good fights before that, against the better players. Knife edge tension to get there. Really great debut for TomatoHead, looking to have a lot more fun with his skin in the future. This was SeReNiiTYzZ, guys, and I'll see you next time. Remember, keep eating your tomatoes and apples. Goodbye, guys.